Sehen wir jetzt natürlich nicht. Nur weil ich das gesehen habe, waren das... Oder jedenfalls mindestens 2 Hähne.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
Ja,
I wonder if the
großes
killer
Hühnchen.
had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense.
Das ist...
You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so.
Genau, so trage ich auch.
No.
So trage ich auch
The
meine
head was through the neck hole, but the arms
Mäntel.
weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body. The coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
Genau, weil ich auch in 5 Minuten die in den 4. Stock hochrennen kann, das Ganze machen kann, dann wieder runterrennen kann, ohne dass ich Geräusche mache.
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
And a suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back.
Sieht aber nicht danach aus.
So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Listen, more important. Now that you have the knife, what are we gonna do with it? We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway. So what to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Me?
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah.
Then why did you hide that fact?
It's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering everything up to now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. Das kriege ich. Disguised dead body, fragmented dead body.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Yeah.
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
Body after the top was removed, which means when the knife was thrust to cut the blood to the body.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we...
It really is, isn't it?
If he did have that seals it. Just because I had that automatic?
Well, getting stabbed is what...
No, that's wrong.
Nein, weiß nicht. Meine Güte.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her!
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
Victim was stabbed twice in the same spot in order so that it's possible. The exact condition of the body was written down for everyone to see. Das war Monokuma-Fall, ne?
I got it!
Genau.
The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. Totally forgot about that.
Wofür haben wir das Ding denn bekommen, wenn du nicht nachguckst?
And the knife
was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing.
Und damit Toko fliegen lernt.
The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion.
Ich dachte, der hätte was mit übernatürlichem Zeug zu tun und nicht mit atomaren Quantumpartikeln, die Leute zum Explodieren bringen.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
There's only one explanation I can think of for the explosion. The fragments.
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, We saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Mich wundert ja, dass die ganzen Dinger nicht in alle Richtungen geschleudert sind und ein paar Leute umgebracht haben. Wenn noch ein Fragment der Bombe übrig ist.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate. Monokuma Fall 5.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma...
Struck on the head and up to the bottom of the figure from the other side, where it was stored for the time for this very least of the
That's gotta be it! There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Shoot!
Die Frage ist, was muss ich machen?
Then shall we continue the
Muss ich die
debate?
Monokuma-Fall irgendwo
The
reinschmeißen
victim's
oder
fatal
muss ich...
injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Victim fatal injury, dann später mit den...
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't even... There's a...
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
Shoot!
Dann wahrscheinlich doch das Monokuma-Fall.
Then shall we continue? The victim's fatal...
The explosion didn't kill...
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't even...
Oh yeah. According to the that's gotta be it.
Yeah.
There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
Shoot!
Hä?
Then shall we continue the victim's fatal...
The explosion didn't kill...
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't even...
Oh yeah.
Also, was hat Max...
That's
Nochmal.
gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was
Jawohl,
hit
was
on
hat
the
Max
back of
And more
sagen?
than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. Then shall we continue the
okay.
debate? The victim's
I
fatal
consent.
injury has
No, that's wrong.
Er schreit no, that's wrong, sagt aber basically, ja, du hast recht.
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
Er wackelt immer so komisch.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then... What was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
Jesus Christ, bist du brutal geworden.
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you
What?
just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground and spit on it.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
Seit wann ist Hagakura eigentlich so brutal?
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
I got it!
Pfeile.
Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something. And that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame Hina for doubting it because there's one more thing about the weapon. One more secret. This?
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Talking back to Master! You have no right!
Ich glaube, I'm too thin. Genau.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo. I have no doubt.
Are you sure?
You don't sound
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Talking back to Master!
You have no right!
The titanium. It was in the dojo. I have no doubt.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced.
Well, because it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal. It seems like an arrow would just be...
Yeah, duct tape.
No, it's wrong.
Jesus Christ.
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's
Und die
harsh.
Strategie. Ja, kann schon mal passieren.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker,
Nice.
it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto? What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to. The death of us all, remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I have evidence. Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo. It must be connected to the dojo locker.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was In my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb.
Wie hätte Kyoko in ihr Zimmer gehen können, wenn er den Schlüssel Byakuya hatte?
That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just, there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
She was protecting me? Then does it mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue. Could it be when? Which would mean that Kyoko, she killed someone for me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know?
What? Byakuya should know better than anyone? What does that mean?
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Kyoko gave her room key to Byakuya, right? Which would mean...
Those words you just spoke.
What exactly? I'm not the killer.
You should understand that more than anyone here.
Not the killer?
Byakuya,
Master would never...
There's proof that you aren't. Is that what you're...
You stated a theory. You said I hid the evidence.
And then left the locker key in my own room,
Yeah.
correct?
Locker key in your own room? Does it have to... Where do you just know what you're doing?
Shoot!
Those words you just...
Exactly. I'm not the... You should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never hide something from me.
There's proof that you aren't the
No
culprit.
proof and then not the killer,
Is that
run.
what you're...
You stated it. You said I hid and then left the lock. But could I really have done that?
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer.
Nee, doch nicht. Hä? Dann not the killer by proof?
Those words
I
you
don't
just...
know.
Exactly what
I'm not the killer.
You should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never hide something.
There's proof
that you aren't the culprit.
Nee, was soll ich drücken?
Shoot!
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I
I
said.
said I'm not, but you should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never hide.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Nee. Hä?
Shoot!
Ich weiß gerade nicht, was ich drücken soll.
Those words you just...
Exactly. I'm not, but you should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a
Theory earlier.
You said I hid the evidence of my crime and then left the locker key in my own room, correct?
Mann!
But could I really have done
Ah.
Those words you just...
Exactly. I'm not the... You should understand that more...
Byakuya.
Welcome to us. See you next time.
Was ist das Ding da unten? Mann.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You said I hid the evidence of my crime and then left the locker key in my own room, correct?
Hä? Was soll ich denn bitte schon drücken?
Those words you just...
Ich kann auch nicht speichern. Das heißt, wenn irgendwas vorbei...
Exactly what I'm not...
Sarah, was muss ich denn bitte drücken?
You should understand that more than anyone.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never
Ja!
something from me.
Ich habe nur noch
Proof
2
that you
Versuche.
aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Ich kann nicht speichern. Ich hab nur 2... Ja, aber wo soll ich das hinschmeißen? Ich hab's doch schon versucht. Mit dem Dojo.
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Those words you just spoke. What do you...
Exactly. I'm not the killer. You should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never hide something from me.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Warum hat's vorhin nicht funktioniert? Ich hab's gedrückt, und hat er gesagt nein. Also...
If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Huh? Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room...
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's not actually true. There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us, an obvious lie. But this just isn't like her. To try and save herself is such a desperate lie. Does she really feel that threatened because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of the school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us. The mastermind's trap. The mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko, but what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... The mastermind's trap. The victim was Mukuro. And Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The mastermind's trap. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do? I have to decide right here and now whether or not to expose Kyoko's lie. Pursue the lie. Let it go. Run away! Das ist der Punkt, an dem sich die Timeline spaltet. Drücken wir Pursue the lie, kriegen wir das Ending, das uns Hagakure vorausgesagt hat. Wir bleiben in der Schule, Toko ist tot, Byakuya hat einen Sohn. Anscheinend von Toko wahrscheinlich. Makoto hat einen Sohn und eine Tochter, Hagakure hat einen Sohn und die alle sind von Aoi. Und das ist Canon. Sagen wir Let It Go, geht's mit der Hauptstory weiter. Bei Runaway, I don't know. Wahrscheinlich werden wir erschossen von Monokuma. Let It Go, wir machen die Haupttimeline. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. There has to be some secret here, something that has to do with the mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room. That it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Voting time?
Das ist doch sowieso nur Glück, wen wir bekommen beim Voting, oder? I did 9/11. Sandra. Hat er dich schon wieder komplett auseinandergenommen?
Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You've got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone. Good job.
Yep.
Yeah, they got it right. No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey!
It makes perfect sense. It's the same as always. Just like all the other class trials, and I'm gonna end it the same way.
Thrills!
It's time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I? Kyoko.
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Kyoko?
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Genau, in einem anderen Timeline wäre dann Kyoko gestorben. Das war die allererste Szene im Anime, die gesehen wurde und ich so... What the fuck, warum haben wir doch nicht angefangen? Habe ich die falsche Folge geladen? After school lesson. Könnte nicht rein theoretisch einfach aufstehen und weggehen. Hast du gerade gesehen, was wir gelernt haben? Das ist die allererste Szene im Anime. Du denkst wirklich, habe ich jetzt die falsche Folge geladen? What the fuck is going on? Why is the protagonist dying? Im Anime in der ersten Szene stirbt übrigens wirklich. Die zeigen nicht Alter Ego und was jetzt gerade passiert. Tschüss. Bye. Warum hockt er immer noch so perfekt auf seinen Stuhl? Ist er festgeklebt? Ja. Ist er... Der könnte doch mit dem Stuhl aufstehen und gehen. Huh? What's this? What's going on? Hey, what's that? Yeah, it had to be. Alter Ego? Alter Ego? Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell, I don't believe this.
It would seem...
It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other words...
What I'm saying is you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing, it was a pinch, an itch. The stupid virus is gone now, got it, and so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. He waste away in a garbage-strewn pit in a way that's even better special punishment. But it's still not enough, I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you, bring despair to the entire world. Bye. Is he gone? Hey Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell's going on?
Calm down.
It's okay, we're not the ones being trapped this time. Huh?
In other words...
Now it's the masterminds that ensnared.
What
What are
did
you
say?
talking about?
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. Ba ba ba. Was soll diese Happy-Go-Lucky-Musik? The massive high school towers all over the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. A government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. Haben wir das Spiel resettet? Fangen wir wieder von vorne an. With hundreds of years of traditions, it seems the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. Warum haben die denn das Monokuma-Logo eigentlich auf dem Ding von der Hope's Peak Academy? There are two things you need to attend to this school. One, you have to already be attending high school, was jeder ist. Two, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student could enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school, filled with the ultimate students, was me, without a bag this time, because I forgot it at home. Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on the top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but... What was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Warum ist da eine Tür? Finally, I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again, and then... Hey, ich habe was entdeckt, Sandra. I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare. No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell! It was a vast dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. A heck of a situation to find myself in. But it was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in there till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remember all too well what had happened. Alter Ego saved me. And he used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. Woher weißt du, dass Alter Ego war? Du hast in die andere Richtung geguckt. So I can't give up now, for myself and for my friend, and with that my pursuit of survival began. First I was to start looking for a way out of here. Aber das machen wir erst in der nächsten Folge von Let's Play Danganronpa Trigger Happy Hapok. Und Happy Hapok, ja? Hapok. Und wir sehen uns dann das nächste Mal. Bis dann, Leute. Ciao.